Hey everybody, it's Carrie coming to you from the craft room. And we have a pre-recorded video for you for stamp class for June of 2024. We are using the amazing Thoughtful Journey suite of products for our projects this month. And with me in the craft room today is Oliver, the crafty pup. See underneath the table?
Oh, yeah.
And Dale, the crafty husband.
Howdy.
So we're excited to be with you today and appreciate you joining us. Whether you registered for class and got the packet and are going to be creating along with us, or if you're just kind of hanging out here to see what we are coming up with this month. We started, I guess, at the first of the year offering a couple of different classes with the same suite collection. So we do our Finally Friday free online class the first Friday of the month, and then also our stamp class the third Saturday of each month using the same products. We do that by design. We're trying to show you lots of different ways to use the products and just really inspire you to create. So what page are we on, Dean?
Excuse me, 46 and 47.
Okay, so 46 and 47 of our new annual catalog. And if you need a catalog, let us know. We have some in stock. We'll be glad to get one for you. But in the layout of this catalog, you'll find that you've got lots and lots of samples here on the left side, and then the components to the suite on the right side. We'll show you the stamp die bundle, the designer series paper, and then we'll get started with our projects. You ready?
The shiny paper's not.
Oh, we're not actually using that tonight, and I did not get it out. But yes, there is a specialty paper that's part of this suite as well. We just didn't use that with our designs, did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay, let's get started here.
Okay.
So this does have a beautiful stamp die bundle. And this is a red rubber stamp set. You can see you've got the images along with sentiments. I always like that when you've got a little mixture. So that makes it nice with your crafting. And then we do have this little visual for you so that you can see what the dies cut out. So these that are a little thicker coordinate with stamped images. And then you've got the other pieces that you can use just stand alone as well. You don't have to stamp before you cut those out. And you can layer some of those pieces on those
Absolutely.
that just cut out as well. So we've got good feedback that you guys like this. So this is a nice way to just share what the dies look like and kind of how to use them. So we've started doing that. I'll let Dale set that over to the side. If you did register for class, you're going to want to grab your packet. And we are using a couple of different ink pads today. We're using Mossy Meadow, Misty Moonlight. We are using Blackberry Bliss. And then you have a choice. If you have Cajun Craze, you may choose to use it, or Lost Lagoon. Or you would be able to use black ink pad with all of the projects that we're making, or just something similar in a purple, green, blue, or kind of an orange, right?
Right.
You're going to be able to use something that you have in your stash. We designed this class so that you don't necessarily have to have the stamp set in order to create the projects. You can pull sentiments from your collection, but this way you get to see what the paper looks like, the dies look like, and still be able to use those. And if you don't have it, that's fine. You can just substitute. If you want to get it, you can place an order, right?
Absolutely.
Go to stampwithct.stampinup.net. So this is your packet. Everything is cut and prepped for you. Even have a little strip of the, what were those called? The
Adhesive back, transparent
dots.
dots.
I don't think we went with the embellishment from this suite.
No, we didn't.
And then there's a ribbon as well, but it was not available, right?
Right.
And that's what's great, because with the coordination of colors with Stampin' Up, you're able to mix and match. So no problem there. We just switched gears and used something a little bit different. Let me show you this paper. This is a 6x6 paper stack. So you've got some really pretty watercolor washes. You've got some nature scenes, kind of all the seasons, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a really good pack.
It is.
And you got stunning images in it.
Mm-hmm.
And just cutting the images and putting them on the paper is all you really need to do.
It is. You can just cut this paper, put it on your card base, put a sentiment, and you're done. So, so pretty. Now, this paper will be available in the catalog until May of next year or end of April next year. So we'll probably bring this back out to do some crafting in the fall and winter too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Think we should show a couple of samples before we get started, Dale?
Go for it.
Okay, we've got a couple samples just to kind of get things going, inspire you. This is a beautiful piece of paper. That's a fun fold that we received in a card swap that we participated in. Were you going to say something?
I just, you can dress up the paper if you want to.
You
You know.
can. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is this is very much like one of the cards we're making tonight. And this was actually hanging out on the display wall in the front room and has been since what? April? End of
Yes.
April. And we are creating a card that's very similar to this tonight. It's kind of funny when Dale brought this sample in, but it's very pretty
But,
because this is an example of just cutting the paper and putting it on there, isn't it?
right, but also I like to take a look at what this person did by having it so that this could have been a card for gift cards and
Oh, it
stuff.
could have been. That
And-
could have folded out versus being adhered down.
Right, you could have folded out and it could, and you have the pretty ribbon on both sides.
Mm-hmm. I do
And-
like that.
And they did a lot of layering, so that's pretty cute.
It's a pretty card. And we're using a 6x6 paper that can sometimes be a little bit more challenging. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to utilize your paper, get the most out of it. So that's a pretty scene right there, isn't it?
This scene and the next scene is the exact same.
I
piece
know.
of paper. And that's what
Oops, sorry.
this is what I really like about how that when you layer them, like this one has lots of layers on it. And then this one is cut in strips to extend your paper and not use a lot of paper.
Well, and what's interesting to me, putting that wild wheat back behind that gives it a totally different effect, I
Yes,
think,
yes,
versus having it more on that white background. Just looks totally different to me. I would not have guessed right away that that was the same paper. I would have had to look at it a little closer. So those are all samples that we got in the card swap. And then let me just share the cards that we made for Finally Friday. Do I have them out of order, babe? I'll let you show. That one was one that I made on Facebook Live.
that one and this
That one and this one this week.
one. All right,
And so it's the same layout, but two different papers. So it's a Z fold. And just really let the paper be the star. I love that piece of paper. So gorgeous.
okay,
And especially as the heat ramps up in Texas. It's nice to look at a beautiful scene like that, isn't it? And then this one is one that we did
okay.
at for our Finally
On Friday.
Friday free online class.
And this one, I like when we do the DSP as the front cover
Mm-hmm.
and that's having the thin piece on the edge
Mm-hmm.
and it gives you the background.
It's so
The
pretty
side-
that
the
way.
B-side.
Yes.
So you get to see more of the paper.
Yes, I like that too. And then this was our second project, just really pulling the colors from the designer series paper for matting and everything. Just shows you how a mat can make such a difference. And then this last one is really kind of an expanded Z fold is what I'm calling it. I don't know
Okay.
what else to call it. It kind of combines a Z fold and then also using the designer series paper as your card front, as your So you open it up like that, but then it also opens to reveal that other side of the paper. Just a really, really pretty wow card. And you're utilizing so much of that piece of 6x6 paper. So that's a lot of fun. So that was what we made in Finally Friday.
Okay.
To each of those designs. All right, let me get these out of the way. And do you want to go ahead and grab the first project now?
Sure. I'm gonna start setting some things up.
Okay, and that's where we're going to be using our Misty Moonlight ink.
Okay, there's the project.
Okay, let me go ahead and show this right quick. So here, what we did, and I should have probably pulled out the full sheet of Designer Series paper, but this piece is a 2-inch strip off of that 6x6. Maybe we can do that before we do the next project. And we just cut it at 2 inches, 2x6, and then cut it down to 2 inches by 3 inches and matted that. So you still get the full effect of that paper. So if you're trying to make multiples of a card and you're trying to really stretch your paper, think about, with it being 6x6, multiples of those numbers so that you really don't have a lot of scrap little pieces left over. So this is what we came up with our first project. So we'll get started with it. Be careful as you're taking things out of your envelope because you do have some small pieces. Just double check that you have everything out of your envelope. And we try to be pretty orderly as we're putting it in there and packaging it for you. So we're starting with the Calypso Coral card base. Really pretty color, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And let me just grab my glue. And we'll go ahead and put our inside panel. I kind of need to wash my glue holder a little bit because I've gotten some glue on the sides.
Yeah.
Oops. I let it move. Let it move on me. Okay, let me set that aside for just a second and kind of take a look at what else I've got going on here. I do have my couple pieces of Misty Moonlight cardstock. So we can go ahead and mat these two pieces that are 2x3 onto there. It's pretty good. We'll get this one. Oh, I almost thought I put that on the wrong side, but I didn't, did I? Let me
No.
make sure I'm not. I think,
I thought you did too for.
I know I
because-
did.
Cause it's pretty strikingly different than
Uh-huh.
the other side of the other half of this paper.
And we'll pause in just a minute and I'll grab it, that new package of paper, because I've got some more that I can grab and show you the full piece of Designer Series paper. That would probably be good for all of the projects that we're doing today. Okay. And now you can kind of get a feel for what we're going to do here on the card front. And I don't know, does it really matter which one overlays the other? Do you
No, I don't think it really matters. I think though that I
like it better?
I like it better flipped, and this is not the way the card. I don't think this is the way the sheet of paper has it. I think this is in the paper. I think it was more like this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Well,
see
you
it.
just
We'll see
do
in a
what
minute.
you like, right?
All right. So let's what do you think? I think that looks pretty good.
Okay, that's fine. You want to adhere that down?
Sure.
I can put some glue on it for you and then
Okay.
you got it.
Yeah, I'll get this one. I have to choose which side, right?
Mm-hmm. You do.
And the border. Pick the border up just a little bit, see if we can,
I thought you were gonna put that piece on top though, no?
no, this one was, I was gonna put this one down
Oh,
below,
okay.
then this one,
I know, I don't know which way. Either way it looks pretty. We'll grab that piece though, to where we can actually see what the designer series paper originally had. That'll be interesting to look at.
okay,
And then we can go ahead and grab the stamp
okay,
and stamp the greeting. What happened to our little,
that's right here,
oh, okay.
you wanna go ahead and,
Yeah, I'll put that on with a glue dot.
all right. Oh, yeah,
What?
let's see how bad he can mess this up,
Why?
well, you know how it stamps. That's a
Good
straight,
stamper.
that's a straight,
So I want to add this little piece of almost like a little shadow of this foliage, isn't it?
oh, that's just slightly crooked,
Is it?
yeah, a
Be
little bit of
okay?
an angle,
It'll be okay, right?
yeah,
So we'll put this little piece right here, and I really like just using a glue dot because I know that's a nice strong adhesive. Is that too low?
no, it's fine,
And then that way, we're gonna trade.
okay,
I'll give you the trash, I'll take the stamp and put that on the
I'm gonna close the ink
close
pad.
pad. I'm gonna put that over on the chamois. So we're trying to keep our workspace nice and clean and not make a mess, right? It does sound like possibly they're here to mow the grass, so
Okay,
if you hear some loud noises.
we gotta take your pick,
Um, we don't.
okay,
They're already out set up for stamp class, so we'll just have to do it the old fashioned way,
no,
right?
I'm gonna poke it with my scissors,
Okay. That'll work. Just be
you just gotta be careful pulling it
not
off,
to poke your finger too.
or cut it along that sharp edge,
Mm-hmm.
okay. What if we bring that up just a little bit, is that too much?
No, I think that's fine. That will look a little bit different than our original.
Okay.
All right. And then we did sprinkle on some of those little gems. Do you see our strip there?
Strip from here,
Mm-hmm.
ah,
Had to get Oliver settled down. Sorry about that. And we were definitely right about the mowing crew being here.
let's see if I can get a couple of these gems off,
I really like these dots because of the colors. I felt like they went really well with this paper. Sprinkle them on where you like them.
put a lot of them on there, how about that?
And then while we took a little break to let Oliver know it's okay for them to mow the yard, we did go ahead and pull the full piece of designer series paper out. So you can see, we said we cut a 2-inch strip and then cut those two pieces down to 2 by 3 and matted them on a 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. So that way we'll get 3 cards out of each of these pieces of designer series paper. All right, we ready to work on card number 2?
Sure. On this next card, this is the full sheet of paper on the 6 by 6.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, we just cut these in half, right?
We did. We actually packaged up a 6 by 3 piece of designer series paper for each person. And so you're gonna have to cut it down just a little bit. but we'll walk you through that.
Okay.
But that is just one of those papers that you're able to cut the paper and add it to your card front, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Okay,
So this is a little bit of a fun fold where you've got that strip cut away. It's a top folding card. And then we did use the Fern embossing folder, and I've got it over there, Dale, if you don't mind bringing that in right quick. The Fern embossing folder. It's right there. We just used the Fern embossing folder on this piece of Wild Wheat cardstock, just to add a little bit more texture and interest on that card.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get our packet. And we're gonna need to do a little bit of cutting on this card. So a lot of times we do that for you, but this is a fold that we haven't done in a while, and we just thought, we'll let you guys do that part. All right,
can I
Dean.
do that?
Yeah, you can do that. So we have folded this over for you to package it up and put it in the envelope. Go ahead and burnish that score line. Like we said, it's a top folding card. And so you're gonna come in and take how much off, Dee?
I'm gonna take 1 inch off.
Okay,
So what I'm gonna try to do is put this in the cutter.
that's what's nice about having that measurement over on the right-hand side.
And then I'm gonna bring this down to where I can line it up with the fold itself. And then let it cut into the paper, and then I'm gonna fold out.
Okay,
And then I'm gonna try to line that,
well, one of the ways you can do it is put it at 5.5.
okay,
That should be,
and then I'm gonna run the cut back to the cut line.
see, I would have lined it up at 5.5.
I did. Afraid to cut too much.
And it's better to cut too little than too much. Just take it slow and easy. Because you can always come in with your paper snips and finish that up if you need to. Are you gonna need to?
Looks like I'm gonna need to.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put my paper snips in here.
Mhm. You just snip a little bit of that
Oh.
out. And really, that's probably a piece we would just discard, huh?
Yeah, let me clean that up just a tiny bit.
Okay.
I got it a little bit frayed.
It looked like you got a lot off of it.
I didn't.
Okay. Okay, so now, as we usually do, we'll go ahead and put our inside panel. And we're just going to take our piece that is embossed. It's always hard for me to tell which is embossed and debossed. This one's a little bit easier though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's the deboss side.
Mm-hmm,
And you're gonna put glue on the deboss side?
I am. And sometimes it doesn't really matter. The deboss side is just as pretty. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
We just line that right up to the edge, so that makes that easy.
When we were using when we've used the brayers on the Fern embossing folder, the deboss side gives you a really interesting color.
They may not remember that when we did the brayer technique. We had some reels that we did using the brayer. Oh, it needs to slide down a bit, doesn't it? Oh, I wish she would have said that a little sooner.
I'm sorry.
Or I may have to trim my white down a tiny bit. I may have,
That looks good.
that looks pretty good. All right, and I did use a little bit extra glue just because we've got that embossed layer there. Now we can add it to our card base. I'm making you nervous.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
What? Oh, yes.
we flipped it and then we flipped it again.
I'm making myself nervous, huh? I really like the Mossy Meadow wild wheat color combo. Do you?
Wild wheat was not a color I was excited about.
No, me either initially, and I'm really surprised at how much we have used it, and I've really come to enjoy it. So you can see that I purposely made that piece of wild wheat a little bit wider. It's about 1.25 inches so that it doesn't show any white on the outside. And then we're going to be ready to adhere this piece over here with just a little border on either side. Now we need to cut 3/4 of an inch, no, 1/2 inch off, because the card base is 5.5. The designer series paper is 6. So we're going to need to cut 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Do you want to make the decision? Or are you going to take it off at the
No,
top, the
I'm
bottom?
gonna take it off the bottom.
Okay,
And the reason I'm gonna take it off the bottom is I don't wanna cut the tops of this tree off.
okay, that
And
makes
that's-
sense.
That's just me. You want the top of the tree to be gone. 1/2 inch.
Mm-hmm, 1/2
Yeah.
inch. Did
Yep.
you have a little minute that you thought it was wrong? You look like you did.
Yeah.
All right. Now we'll put some glue on here.
You know what your son would say about that, don't you?
What?
You can either measure twice and cut once, or you can not measure and cut forever.
Oh, is that what he says?
Yeah. If you don't measure, you just keep cutting and cutting and cutting.
He and Holly, Shane and Holly have been renovating their home. So he has definitely learned about measuring and cutting, hasn't he? With tiles and sheet rock and all
Trim
that
boards,
stuff.
all
How's
kinds.
that?
That looks great.
Okay.
So
So isn't that just so pretty, just using that piece of designer series paper?
All right.
Gonna be the designated stamper
Oh, yeah,
again?
I'm going for it.
And what's this one?
It's,
Dearest friend.
dearest friends, yes.
Very pretty. Know how much I love a pretty font. You got it?
We'll see. Definitely. Let
Right.
it rise a little bit on the left.
Let's see. I think you're always a little bit of a critic of yourself, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it looks pretty good. I think what we'll do though, let me have the snips for just a second.
okay.
I'm gonna cut a little piece of the bones over here. My friend Rick always called them that, so we call them the bones now too. Because that's gonna be a great piece of dimensional to go right across the back.
Okay.
So we can add our greeting.
What if we hang it off the edge a little bit?
That's okay. I kind of centered it up here on our sample, but you do you.
There we go. We need a couple of gems on it.
We do.
We'll use the dark green ones with this one.
It's fine.
All right. If I can get them all.
Yeah, you may want to put that down on the table. That might be easier. You want me to hold the little strip? You got it.
I got it. Trying to figure out where I want them. Well,
Sometimes they decide themselves.
that's right.
I really like that they add a little touch.
Okay,
All right, card number 2. Ready to work on another one?
sure.
Okay.
All right, ready for card number 3?
Yes.
All right. This one is, we got the embossed layer with the birch, right?
The birch.
Yeah,
Where did the birch come from?
the catalog.
No, it did not come from the catalog. Bring it on in and let them see a little sneak peek.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. So, funny story. We actually have two funny stories with this card for y'all. So, funny story. I registered for an event that Stampin' Up is hosting called Creativity Now. And I was able to order some supplies that will be coming from our holiday catalog all the way in September. So I put the embossing folder with the other embossing folders. And when we were designing these cards, I went to cook dinner and I came back and Dale had used the birch embossing folder on this project, which is a sneak peek
Okay,
because we weren't supposed to be using that yet.
sorry.
It's okay. Demonstrators are attending Creativity Now the end of June, the 22nd of June. And so I'll have lots of ideas with that birch embossing folder, but it is fabulous. It's another one of those that's oversized, but it won't be available to customers until September. So you just,
Sorry, guys.
sorry, not sorry, right?
It's-
You get
it's-
a little fun sneak peek of something that will be available in September.
Yes.
It's very pretty.
Another top folding card.
Another top folding card. Second funny story is that Dale used, again, I went to go cook dinner and he kind of went rogue on me because I had determined we were not using Cajun Craze in this class, the color Cajun Craze. Take a look at that card base, what color that card base
Oh,
is.
it's very Cajun courageous.
Cajun Craze. So I went to cook dinner. I come back and he has taken Cajun Craze and Lost Lagoon and my birch embossing folder, and he's gone rogue. And so I would have been aggravated with him if it wasn't so stinking pretty of a card. It's beautiful. Then when I prepped for you guys, I grabbed the wrong piece of designer series paper.
But it's got the right colors.
It does have the right
It has
colors.
it has the Lost Lagoon in the edges
Mhm.
of it.
It does.
You can see it. It's gonna make a stunning card.
So they're going to be, yours is going to be a little bit different than our original sample, but it's going to be the same as the one that we make with you right now. So we're kind of
Okay.
a hot mess, wouldn't you say?
We're doing our best. We are better than our best, but we're doing
We
our
are
best.
doing our best. So we've got a small little piece that we're stamping on. So be sure and keep an eye out for that. There's that piece of designer series paper that's not right, but it's going to be pretty.
So-
Happy accident, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that happened, this card just really struggled, didn't it?
Right.
Another thing that happened is Cheryl, most of you know Cheryl, and she comes and helps me with the prep for classes and events. So when I cut this piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock for all like 20 or 22 that we prepped for, she embossed it before we die cut the circle. So if we had then turned around and die cut the circle, it would have taken the embossing out of it. So it would have been
Yes.
double the work. So instead of using the original die cut circle, we use the 2 3/8
Yes.
circle punch. So, you know, when you have a comedy of errors,
Then go with it.
go with it. So this card is pretty, kind of despite all of us trying to
Now,
sabotage it.
so I have some glue.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put a little on the corners here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna go ahead and adhere the inside panel because you know
Okay.
that's how I roll.
And then I'm gonna use this side right here that's got a lot
Okay,
of
well, I'll
pretty,
get out of the way so they can see what you're doing.
and I'm just taking this 3x3 cut. And I'm layering it over the top of this. And gluing it in. And
Which again is not what I would have done if I had been in the craft room, not cooking dinner. I would have popped that up and given some dimension between that.
but I'm gonna pop this up.
I
on the-
know,
Okay,
I know.
but we need another, oh, here's our
Another piece of white.
other piece of white.
Okay,
We need another piece of white on there.
okay.
Go for it.
No, we need it.
No,
That's not how I do it, dude.
okay,
I would put this on here.
okay,
That's how I would do it and then put it on there.
all right, well then. Give me a stack of dimensionals and let me go crazy.
No, you're gonna pop it up on there?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna let you make your card. How about that?
okay.
Sometimes I have visions of a card in my head and I'll tell Dale. And
You're not gonna get what she's thinking about, okay?
no,
Let's just be honest about it, all right?
no, I don't. You don't either. But I have to say, when I came back in, because I had distinctly said we are not using Cajun Craze. And when I came back
Guess what?
and there was a Cajun Craze card,
And it looked pretty.
it did. It's very pretty. I do like it. I like it a lot. You grabbed to take your pick tool from somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
somewhere along the
Off,
way.
off
didn't
my,
you?
my workstation.
Oh, okay.
Some of those that may have seen me work a little bit, I got a little different workstation than Carrie has. And, I get to watch Oliver play out in the yard.
When we moved into this craft room, I really intended for my desk to be there by the window, but when you're making videos, you can't have shadows and
See if I can get this lined up.
okay.
I probably should have used that girl's that trick with the liquid glue.
Well, now you gotta tell them what the trick is with the liquid glue.
Well, it's where when you, like I put the dimensionals on the back of this. And you can put a dot of liquid glue on each one of the sticky parts of the dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives you a little bit of time to wiggle things around.
Gives you the best of both worlds, doesn't it?
Right,
You
and
get
then-
the dimension, but you still have time to
Wiggle it around and not be
get it where
exactly
you want it.
perfect.
Okay. That is lovely, I have to say. If I was gonna mess up the paper, that was the paper to do it with, wasn't it?
I think so.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and add this to our card front. Make sure I've got it opening up the right way. Ooh. Well, that is wiggling around that glue, isn't it?
Yes, it
This
is.
warmer weather has really affected the viscosity of the glue. So be careful with that if you live in the South like we do.
It's just putting a little bit of pressure and it slides real
It
easy.
does,
doesn't it?
it slides. All right,
Okay.
so we're ready to stamp, thanks. And so I went ahead and grabbed both the Lost Lagoon. Well, let's do a couple things. This is piece that Dale punched out. We went ahead and included it in your kit. Who knows? You may want to do something with that. If not, feel free to toss it. But if you want to, you can do
Right.
something with it.
If you have another, smaller punch, you could punch that out a little bit larger. It's gonna get lost. Never mind. I was gonna say punch it out, put a backing on it.
They'll come up with some great ideas
Yeah.
to do with it.
All right,
So
we'll put that out of the way.
you want me to stamp thanks?
Sure. You
So I
want
grabbed
Lost
Lost Lagoon and I grabbed Cajun Craze because I'm really kind of thinking we stamped with Lost Lagoon, but I'm really kind of thinking Cajun Craze stamping this time.
Okay,
And so I thought I would make myself stamp it
okay.
kind of as a little, sorry. You were right. I'm gonna say it on video. He was right, y'all.
I wasn't trying to be, folks.
I know. I'll say I'll stamp it. Man, that bright light. I'm over to the side a little bit, but we'll go with it.
Mhm.
It'll be okay. We'll put an embellishment.
Oh, yeah,
This poor card.
okay.
There's the ink pad, so. And then I'll put a little dimensional behind that if you want to grab the embellishments.
Okay. And we're gonna use the kind of clear iridescent embellishments this go around.
Fine. I really think, what colors do we have left? Clear and,
Clear, and we have this, look, Blackberry Bliss like.
oh, we really need the Blackberry Bliss for the last card. So let's use the clear. Is sentiment okay?
Yeah.
Put that embellishment on there. We'll just own it like I did that on purpose.
Mhm.
So I think the moral of the story is when you mess up,
Just go with it.
just go with it. Give yourself a little grace. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat your husband up either. I like it with the Cajun craze
Okay,
sentiment.
gonna be a cute card.
It is a cute card.
And they got creative license, right? If
Mhm,
they wanna
absolutely.
mix and match, or if they wanna
Absolutely
change
do.
things up a little bit.
All right. So that's card number 3 in all of its glory.
One thing I forgot to say was the piece that I put behind this was a 3x3 piece.
Oh, okay.
So that you realistically could make 4 cards
From each piece.
from each piece of
of
6 by
design series
6.
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we wanted to definitely mention how to really utilize the paper. So good point. Okay, so now we're down to our last project. And this one is a bookbinder card, but a little bit different than how we've typically made a bookbinder card in the past. So it opens like this. And Dale brought in the full piece of designer series paper. Just absolutely stunning.
Yes.
So we are just really, again, letting that designer series paper do all the work. And we've just got a couple little die cut pieces for an accent. And this time we're using the So Swirly
Oh.
embossing folder. And I think we have it out as well, Dee.
Here we go. It's
That's
pretty
that.
big.
It is. It's oversized embossing folder. Now with it just being a strip of cardstock, that's boho glue. With that being just a little strip, you get a different look on the different pieces of cardstock. But we thought that was kind of cool. Cheryl and I came up with that
Did you
together.
just give them a half a sheet of this as well? Or did you cut it down?
We'll see when we open our packet now, won't we? Because I don't remember. We'll pause for just a second.
All
Sorry
right.
about that. He was using the blower to
Blower.
get all the little grass clippings and stuff off. Okay, we'll see, because I don't remember what I did, Dee. I do know we need to put those little die cut pieces aside, make sure we got both of them.
Okay.
Okay, we'll set those aside so we don't lose them, little bitty pieces.
Put them up here where I normally put the glue and stuff.
Okay,
There's another strip. Put him up here.
okay,
And it is half sheet.
half a sheet, okay. So we'll go ahead on our Blackberry Bliss card base. Uh-oh. Let me make sure that's gonna work. I don't think it is it? No. Need to look at that closer. Had that off just a little bit with my score line. But I gently showed it who's boss.
Zhuzhed it a little
I
bit,
judged it a little bit. So this
But-
is already scored for you.
but since this is a bookbinder
Mm-hmm,
and you're gluing all that area down that you.
mm-hmm. It's gonna be
It's gonna
okay.
be fine.
So it's a regular card base. And then you just score it at 4 1/4 and then at 3 to make the bookbinder. So yeah, it's cooperating now, but I did have to coax it a little bit. So now what you're gonna want to do is use a nice strong adhesive such as Stamp and Seal Plus. You could put liquid glue in there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Tear and tape, and you want to put that adhesive in the section between those two score lines. I think that's plenty, don't you?
Oh,
And then you're going to seal the binding of your book closed. And you can use your bone folder to help get that flush. And then that means you've got a 2 3/4 by 5 1/4 piece of white cardstock for your inside panel.
we're not writing a long note to our friends.
Well, it is kind of a long note, long and
Okay,
skinny, isn't it?
Hmm.
We're not gonna write very
much.
big.
okay.
Like you could use this card and write a note. Cause your writing is way smaller than mine. Don't you think?
And I don't write much.
You don't?
No.
You don't, you're a man of few words. That's not true.
On-
Maybe only
on
when you're
paper-
writing?
On paper,
Okay.
it is very true.
Only when you're writing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, because I'm gonna leave the hard part for you. Which side do you want to use? I guess this would be really the debossed side, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Either side again, I think would work. We'll put a couple little dots of blue there. And put this down for our bookbinder. And I really thought when I added embellishments about maybe putting them at the top and bottom of the binding. I like that look, and we may do that on this one. We'll see.
Okay,
So you can see how quickly this comes together. So now we'll grab our piece of designer series paper, because you get to do,
it's fixed to come to a screeching halt,
why?
because I'm gonna have to do some cutting.
Oh, well, that's the point. I'm not gonna make the decision. I'm gonna make you make the decision of where we're going to cut, because we need 5 and a quarter,
5
because
1/4,
I left a border.
right,
So we need 5 1/4. So we're cutting 3/4 of an inch off. You want to take it off the top
I'm
or
gonna
the
take it-
bottom, or are you gonna split the
no, I'm gonna take it
difference?
off the top, because
Top?
I like this swirliness at the bottom,
Okay.
okay, and then I gotta also take, that's a 3 inch and this is a
Mhm.
3 inch, so I have to take a little off of one side,
Mm-hmm.
so.
A 1/4 inch.
All right, so I'm gonna start with a 1/4 inch off. Let's go up here to the top. Put this in,
But I purposely did that so you can decide what is pleasing to your eye.
okay, and then I'm taking 3/4 of an inch, right?
Mhm. You could have taken that little 1/4 inch strip and glued it on the inside if you wanted to. You don't have to.
I sure could have. I didn't think about it.
3/4.
All right. Hold on,
What?
we have that one back. Because I think this one's gonna work on the inside,
Okay.
okay? Oh, sorry, all right, got some blue.
Yes,
The back side of this paper is pretty too.
it is. Yes, either side would work.
Right? Let's flip this over. See if I can get that to line up and not move everywhere.
Just have to be patient.
That's not my motive. That's not my normal.
Modus operandi.
No, it doesn't. I don't work that way. Uh,
Is that gonna work?
Oh, yeah.
Is it really? Look at you.
There you go.
Okay.
We want that. I want to bring it down here at the bottom.
All the way to the bottom.
No, not all the way to the bottom.
Like that tiny little sliver of white when you put an inside piece of DSP. I just think that's pretty.
There we go.
Love it.
All right.
Now you can write even less. You haven't lost our die cut pieces, have you?
Now they're right up here.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get something stamped on this did you
Pretty
make
simple.
you make life better?
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty sentiment. Excuse me.
Okay. I'm gonna scooch this one to the left a little bit.
Yes, that's a good idea, since you have your die cut pieces.
Okay. That looks pretty good.
Good.
Just 3 tries before I get better.
Let me put some dimensionals on it for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put that on the card. Alrighty. Okay,
Get down, Oliver. Oliver's trying to help, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oliver likes pretty paper too.
Let's go right here, a little bit lower.
Well, we came up away from that pretty
Yeah.
design is why we put ours there.
All right, and then I'm gonna use the glue, and I'm gonna put me a couple of dots of glue on here.
We use glue dots.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Once again,
Either way is fine.
I'm in trouble.
Not in trouble. Either way is fine. The glue dots just give it a little bit of lift and still a good strong adhesive. And same thing, it's still a good strong adhesive to use the liquid glue.
I just knew I didn't want to get it all over my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at that.
Not good to have sticky fingers.
No. Oh, and now we need some. We need some embellishments.
Yes, the darker ones
Mm,
that you left for that. Which, isn't that amazing?
It is
How
amazing.
it just worked out to 4 perfect colors of embellishments. Now,
Uh,
if you want to mix them up, you do you. But we just used each color on each card. Which leaves you 4 embellishments left if you use 3.
See if I can get this little guy up here.
Okay.
We'll put him right in here.
Okay.
There we go.
That finishes up this bookbinder. Oh, we talked about putting them on either end. Oh, well,
Oh,
that's okay. I like it like that. Okay, so we have our bookbinder. We have this one, Miss Cajun Craze. Uh-oh, I dropped one. Just a minute, Oliver. I don't need any help, Oliver. Somewhere I lost a Cajun Craze along the way, didn't I?
I think so.
And then which one of those is better, D?
I think,
The
yeah, I
original?
think the original's
Okay,
pretty cute. And then
okay,
we'll keep that one right there.
all right. So that's your class for this month. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope we have inspired you to create. And if you have this suite of products, and I know several of you do already, enjoy it. It is so much fun to work with. I just think it's so easy to work with such gorgeous designer series paper. But we wanted to give you some options for utilizing your 6x6 to its really fullest potential, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.